Fake bikes.
All right, and we are live. Welcome, Highfalutin Ski Bum Podcast, episode number 225. It is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, what's up?
Just hanging out, man. I tell you what, it's been a good afternoon. We've been chatting a while before this podcast, and things are getting real.
Yeah, things are getting very real and interesting, which we will get into a little more details in the main topic area. But we do really appreciate everybody listening. Thank you so much. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. On that site, we have a shop, skibumpodcast.com/shop. This dope sweatshirt now available, probably. I don't get a ton of time to get this stuff up, but I am planning. I just drank a goddamn ton of coffee at 9 o'clock at night so I can have enough energy to stay up and get these things loaded on the website. So by the time this podcast goes live, this stuff will be out there. The t-shirts that I talked about for weeks and these sweatshirts. So not only that, we got these cool t-shirts, which are kind of like the same thing. A couple different colors. Boom. And everyone's favorite, unless you're a snowboarder, and of course you don't like it, these are now in sweatshirt form. Hello.
Boom. Boom. Those are nice ones.
And not just any sweatshirt. When we do things the highfalutin way. This is the Bella and Canvas fleece collection. So it keeps you warm, but it's super light. And it's not one of those like, you get like almost like the cheap sweatshirt. It feels like really, really heavy and kind of hard.
Yeah.
This is just, I mean, it's like having a second layer of
like, it's like having a fluffy puppy right next to you.
It's like having a sheep. It's like wearing like a baby, a dead baby sheep on you.
I would suggest, rather, if you don't see something on the site, DM us and we'll let you know if we got something cool, dope, that might not be unseen, might be VIP level, might be kind of, we'll let you know.
One of the things I'm trying to do more of in the next year is use Threadless, which they have an artist shop, they call it, and you can just upload all kinds of different ideas. And then you can buy, say it's a design you like, you can choose a t-shirt, a tank top, a sweatshirt, a robe, a face mask, a hat, sweatpants. Like they'll put anything on anything. So
sweet.
I like our VIP stuff that we put on our website, and then I want to link to that Threadless site and have anything. So if you wanted like a coffee mug with that skier logo, you could get it there, like that kind of stuff. Like they'll put anything on anything. So we may start utilizing that. And you know what? If you love us, please go to the website. Also, we have a support section if you want to hop on there and maybe do a recurring payment or a one-time PayPal. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot, especially with this upcoming season. And again, we'll be discussing in the main topic. Everyone, go to your favorite podcasting app, rate, subscribe. That would really help. We're on everything: iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, Stitcher.
Everywhere you could find podcasts, we're there. Just look.
We're also on YouTube. I've also bulked up the show notes section of each podcast now, where it actually has the links to those things. So iTunes, Spotify, YouTube video. One thing you will notice if you are a YouTube subscriber, the way we're doing it now, because time is not on our side these days, we don't even do like an edited YouTube version.
It's raw.
We're getting on YouTube.
Raw dogging. We're raw dogging that shit.
Raw dogging on YouTube. You're not supposed to do that, but apparently we're doing it. So it's unedited. It doesn't have the segments in there. It's just
no face mask either.
No face mask. Horrible, horrible people.
Full frontal.
Killing grandma. Killing grandma. So yeah, we're just putting the way we do this right now. Unedited, uncleaned up. That's the version you're getting on YouTube, and that's the way it's going to be for a while now. Until we get an intern, skibumpodcast@gmail.com if you want to be an intern and have technical abilities. And
no pay.
And hate money.
A lot of perks that we'll promise, but we'll see.
If you want to break into the ski podcast game, right here, skibumpodcast@gmail.com.
We're the Ski Bum Podcast.
The premier
The premier ski bum podcast.
Ski comedy crossover podcast.
Actually, with everybody else going out of business, I think we're the one we're fighting back. We're the one that's gonna be last man standing.
Audio Powder. That's us.
Audio Powder sounds like, yeah.
Audio Powder. So so thank you so much for listening. Oh, if you want stickers too, same skibumpodcast@gmail.com, or send us a DM on Instagram. Best way to do it. So again, thank you. We really do appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying it, getting fired up for the season. Let's kick it off the way we always do. Operate today.
So the operate today, I haven't posted on Untapped, which is going to happen soon.
Oh, I didn't do that either.
Yeah, see, I'm a slacker, but I know what I've slacked on.
God damn. See, this is why we got to check each other.
This is why we need an intern. We need a little tap on the shoulder, like, oh, before you start the podcast, guys, No, I didn't do anything.
Or perhaps just a simple checklist would work too. And
that would work. You know
what sucks? I forgot to mention that as our favorite social media app, because every other social media site you go to, everyone is like, Trump, Biden, this, that. Untapped, it's just people posting pictures of their beer.
They don't even make fun of other beers. They just post what they're drinking.
Dude, you're drinking that? Oh, you little snowflake. You're drinking that beer?
There's no shaming. You want to post the Budweiser? I don't care, man. That's fine.
Heineken Zero, do your thing.
All right, man. If that's what you're rolling to, right on, brother. Just
do what you gotta
sister.
do.
Just keep rolling. That's fine.
That's the beauty of Untapped. It's just a chill, fun, we're drinking beer app.
There's no shaming. There's
no shame.
Nothing. We accept everybody.
That's right.
Well, the folks at Untapped accept everybody, which is good.
That's right.
Love that place.
We love them.
All right, so
what do you got?
I had a few opres before, and I had a progression of opres that went up to down to back to up now. So I started with topsy-turvy. I started with pumpkin, and then I went back down to like just a regular beer flavor. Back up to it's into the season. It got down to, Brian, I gotta say it's 68 down here in Florida. It is like winter. People are putting on jackets. Like it's magical right now.
Dude, it's snowing in Vermont right now. It's like in Jersey here, it's like got to be like maybe in the low 40s. It's like legit cold here.
Dude, I wish it was that cold here because I'd be able to put jeans on. I'd be able to walk around with like a jacket.
You could wear a dope sweatshirt like this one.
I'm still not wearing arm pants. I'm just wearing regular short sleeves.
Just showing off the guns 24/7.
Guns all day.
365, guns a-blazing.
All day, bro. All day. So I figured, it feels like fall now, finally. Might want to go for a little pumpkin. So Southern Tier. This is a good one every year.
Chautauqua County, New York.
Chautauqua, New York. Place. That's right.
Sadly, when we were in Chautauqua back in February, when life was a little more normal, Rich and I, they gave us so many beers from Southern Tier. We actually gave them to the rental car attendant because we didn't know what to do with them. Like we drank as many as we could, and we just gave them to the rental car guy.
But that's the gift that gives back. Like you give it back. That's good.
We're kind of like,
unless he was 16, then it's a little creepy.
I think he was more like 76.
Even better.
And was very happy to get some beers.
I got some beers. Like we're gonna have these that the youngsters gave me today.
So kind of good. Thinking back, it's probably not the best idea giving a guy who's parking cars in a garage a bunch of beers.
That's not your problem. HR deal with that shit.
That's right. Sorry, Enterprise.
Sorry. Oh, was it Enterprise? No, I think it was somebody else. So I'm going to try this year. So this is a seasonal. So every year I think they tweak it a little bit. Now, I've had other brands that do a good pumpkin. Every year, Southern Tier does a great job with the pumpkin. Other ones tweak it too much. It tastes like shit. And you're like, what did they do? You had a good one last year. Now you effed it up this year. So this is a 8.6% ABV. It's only available August through October. So we're hitting the end right now. It's all these varieties of hops, 2 varieties of malts, pumpkin, and spices. So they put actual pumpkin in here, which if you look at a lot of things that you have that have pumpkin, it's the pumpkin spice. They don't actually put pumpkin in it, which is interesting. So if you start reading ingredients, you'll see stuff that has nutmeg and cinnamon, all the stuff that goes into pumpkin pie, but no actual pumpkin. So this one has a little bit of the OG pumpkin in it.
Nice.
Oh, this is delicious. So you could have a nice, fiery, feisty pumpkin. This is like a sweet, loving, central pumpkin that just wants to rub you to sleep. A little malty, a little vanilla, a little spice in there. It's all good. If Barry White could sing about a beer, I think this would be it. If he was alive and could sing, he'd be like, pumpkin.
Dude, wouldn't that be awesome if Barry White could do like a jingle for like a pumpkin beer?
I love that
all right,
guy.
So you think if of all the pumpkin beers you've had, Barry White would choose that one as the one he would sing a jingle for?
That would be it, man. That would be it.
Well, I'm going to challenge you on that.
Oh, you go the CeeLo Green route?
I was thinking more little Luther Vandross.
Oh, Luther Vandross.
Always come with the Luther. So you got your pumpkin. I know you've been drinking pumpkin beers since like March.
Dude, I never stop.
You never stop.
I go pumpkin all day.
You had like pumpkin shandies in the summer.
I got pumpkin lip stuff on the mountain.
You are the pumpkin.
Oh,
I think perhaps.
You see me with my pumpkin head on Halloween, you'd be like, dude, that is the pumpkin.
I got to figure out a way to Photoshop your face in a jack-o'-lantern.
That
would be ideal.
You ever see The Office where Dwight wore the pumpkin on his head? That was the best. And he couldn't get it off.
I saw that one.
He couldn't get it off. That was the best part.
I may have missed that one. So we talk about pumpkin beers every fall, obviously. And every fall we bitch about how stupid breweries are in their schedules for when they put these things out in August. But it's like 94 degrees and you're like, hey, look, Dogfish Head has their pumpkin beer out. And you're looking at it like, why would I even want to drink that now?
Now we look at it as how old has that beer been there, right? Like,
yeah. I recall the one time at Mount Snow when we had it was definitely February, and they were like, "Hey, we got Shipyard Pumpkinhead on draft."
You just tapped it. Like, what? You mean? What do you mean you tapped it?
You just tapped the pumpkin beer that you probably got in August and like sat in a hot West Dover dungeon for 6 months, and then you broke it out. So I decided like 2 weeks ago that I'm like, oh, you know what? Now it's time to get some pumpkin beers. And you go to the liquor store, they're like, yeah, we just got the Sam Adams winter beer just showed up. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? It's not even Halloween.
They pass by the whole Sam pumpkin.
The whole process.
October is the closest thing they get.
That thing comes out in August, the October effect. It's so ridiculous. So anyway, there was 2 pumpkin beers. I was like, I got to get at least just a 4 or 6 pack. And the one I wanted the Dogfish Head Pumpkin because that one's really good.
The pumpkin's really good.
They were out of it at the liquor store I went to. I went to 2 liquor stores.
Dogfish Head, I got to say, the pumpkin is probably one of my favorites.
It is very good.
ATFs, all times.
It's one of the top pumpkin beers for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, they don't have it, whatever. What they did have and what I did get was the Schlafly.
Oh, that one's good.
This one is a really, really good one too. This comes in at a humdinger 8% too. What was yours? The pumpkin?
8.6.
8.6. Wow. So yeah, this comes in at 8. It was bottled with love on 8/24/2020. See, they bottled it in August. Like, so that's at least the end of August.
Yeah.
You know?
So when that came out, I used to go to that bar with I'm not going to say its name because I don't want to, they're not paying us for promotion because they're bitches.
Yeah, we're going to stop giving free advertising out.
That's right. They were the one that had the ice thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They used to have the Schlafly on draft all the time, and they used to do it with the pumpkin spice rim.
Oh,
the rim not bad. It's something to be said when you get a pretty looking barmaid that says, "Do you want the rim job too?" I'm like, of course. Who's saying no? Who's saying no to that? You don't scrape it off. You know, I'm just saying.
As you should. So this beer is an ale. brewed with pumpkin and with spices added, cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. Oh,
that's
so again,
a good one.
Another one, 8%, comes in. It's like a bold, strong beer, but it's got a lot of flavor, and it's, you definitely get a lot of the spice on the nose.
So you thinking Two Live Crew to that, or Luther Vandross?
I think Luther. This is a Luther.
Yeah,
it's just, you gotta like pumpkin to like this, but it's really well done. It's not overpowering. It doesn't taste overly fake. It's just a really, again, if you like pumpkin, it's a solid option. But
see,
it's
that's
not
just
like you can
though.
buy it now anyway, because it's all been gone for weeks.
See, but that's how it should be. If you like pumpkin, you'll like this beer. If you don't like pumpkin, why the fuck are you drinking a pumpkin beer, right?
Yeah. I was at Whole Foods and they had pumpkin spice popcorn.
That's gross.
That seems kind
Fake
of weird.
Pumpkin. I got all the ingredients to make a nice pumpkin pie, and I'm making one with Bodie this week. He's playing hockey. He's with his dad this weekend, but
Andrea made a pumpkin cheesecake last week, and it was phenomenal.
It sounds delicious. But I don't know if everybody takes to the cheesecake, and I don't want to eat a whole one by myself. That's what I got to weigh out.
And that's the key. You got to use ginger snaps for the crust.
Oh,
boom. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Legit. And again, you can't, like you said, though, you can't make a small cheesecake. It's got to be like fucking Golden Girl special. Like,
there's too much work involved. Like, you got to make it right and then have it once in a while.
Bars of cream cheese in it.
Yeah, but you're having it once a year. See, the problem is when people want to have that same taste of cheesecake the entire fucking year. You know what you're going to get? Fat. That's what you're going to get.
Cheesecake Factory.
You're going to get diabetes. You're going to get heart disease. Like, listen to me, because I got all that shit because I ate whenever I wanted to, and now I got to watch. But,
so are you saying you're more likely to die of COVID if you go to the Cheesecake Factory? Is that what you're saying?
COVID. I'll eat COVID up. I'll eat COVID up every day.
Goddamn COVID flavored cheesecake.
I think this pumpkin has a little COVID in it.
Well, it enhances the flavor of the nutmeg, I believe, right? They play well together.
I taste vanilla, nutmeg, and a little bit of COVID.
A little bit of COVID
in there. Yeah.
Tastes like a malted barley. That's COVID.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to make a nice pumpkin pie, and I didn't do a regular crust. I did a graham cracker crust.
That's the way to do it.
Because you could buy that shit already done. I don't have to crumble anything. You see, your wife made the nice ginger snap thing. She crushed that shit. She was like hands-on.
Food processor. She actually, what she does is she mixes nuts in as well. So you get extra texture, extra fat, extra flavor. Oh.
You know, I saw at the grocery store. So Diamond, the nut people, they actually make crusts out of walnut and pecan.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, that's genius. I almost bought one, but I was like,
it's genius to look at all the crap they put in there as like emulsifiers. There's like all kinds of weird palm oils and goose and shit.
If you get the Whole Foods version of that, it's just gonna break apart, is what I'm saying.
I hear you.
It's gonna be one big nut.
I'm a big fan of making your own crust.
Yes.
I'm an artist. What can I say?
Yeah, you're only doing it once. See, the thing is, all the stuff is meant to be once in a while. If you do everything once in a while, do the full fat, do the whole, like everything you want. If you want to add whole grains, you want to add like vegetables, go right ahead. But don't skimp on it, because it has to taste good and has to satisfy you. If it doesn't satisfy you, you're just going to crave it again really soon.
Yes. And speaking of craving, this is a really cool story that I saw. Derek Jeter backed startup Bespoken raises $2.6 million to deconstruct whiskey, shave years off the aging process.
Damn.
Bespoken Spirits, they're a distillery tech startup, which sounds really weird, but awesome. They're based in Silicon Valley, and they have mastered the technology to more accurately fine-tune whiskey flavor profiles and compress the liquor's lengthy aging process into a matter of days. They recently raised $2.6 million seed round funding from a group of investors, including New York Yankees star number 2, Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter, number 1 in your heart, number 2 on his back.
And while it may not be the first company to try to shave years off the distillation process, its co-founders say it could be the first to leverage that technology to help third parties chase a specific demographic's taste profile. So the simple thing they say they've done is they have deconstructed the barrel, which is the most Silicon Valley friggin' way of saying things, deconstructing the process. They use the same traditional all-natural elements of wood, of toast, and of char. They don't need any additives of chemicals and just reimagine the process of how the elements are used to take advantage of modern science and technology.
So it sounds good, but are we going to eventually go to age 2 days versus age 10 days? Like, dude, I just got a 20-day-old, Derek Jeter whiskey, signature whiskey. Is it going to be to that level?
That's what they're saying. They're
dude,
saying
I got one that's aged 1 year. What? Blow my mind.
In a way, our attention spans are so short. Like, imagine like you're the guy sitting around the barrel waiting for 18 years for it to age. You're like, oh my God, come on.
See, the difference between waiting for a nice 30-year-old or 18-year-old like aged whiskey is you actually start thinking back like, wow, what's happened there? They've protected it for 18 years or 20 years or more, like whatever. Kids nowadays are going to be like, I don't know. 10 days is good. Like, I don't need more than, dude, I'm drinking, freaking Red Bull and vodka and just, that's all it's about.
Yeah.
Quick and easy.
They did win a gold medal at the 2019 Micro Liquor Spirit Awards, which,
nice.
Micro Liquor Spirit Awards. That's a big one.
Dude, we are the winners of the Highfalutin Ski Bum Awards every year.
Yeah. You can pretty much say you're award-winning anything. You can make up an award and give it to yourself. That means you're award-winning, right?
Dude, you get somebody to do an award. Like, now you're the winner of the awards.
See, you can have the Florida Ski Foundation give out the best podcast award. Like, we're the best
every year.
The Florida Ski Award goes to our podcast every year.
10 years in a row, bro.
There we go. We cannot be stopped. We're on fire.
On fire. We're spitting hot fire.
Spitting hot fire. So there
if
you
anybody knows the answer to spitting hot fire, you got to DM us and let us know who that is. Chappelle Show. That's the only hint I'm getting.
It be we. All right. So that wraps up Apparate today. And let's take a quick little journey into the Gondola. Election day is near.
Election day.
And you know what? Who cares who's going to be president? It's the same bullshit. Some old fuck is going to be the president.
Yeah, somebody older than you is probably going to be president. And I could say that with surety for about 80% of the people in this country, right?
Seriously, yeah.
He's going to be older than you.
So it doesn't matter. What matters? Marijuana legalization.
Yeah. So where are we at with that, Brian?
Things are looking rather bright for legalization. They're saying New Jersey, forget about it. Voters are expected to approve adult use legalization in a landslide.
Huh. So it's on the ballot now?
As a New Jersey resident, I can assure you it was on the ballot and I voted yes.
But what does the adult use mean?
Well, that they're still figuring out. They're just trying to get this in there. They're trying to figure
medical,
out.
Adult,
no, adult recreational.
Okay.
Yeah, they already have medical here.
If they have the grow in there, like the clause that you can grow your own plants, that's the key.
Well, that's the problem. They're still kind of working that out. They're just trying to get it legalized, and then they're going to figure out how to, take the biggest cut and fuck everybody over. Because
of course.
That's what all politicians do.
All about the money. Follow the money.
Arizona. They are currently polling at 55% supporting legalization, which is solid. Yeah. Now, Montana is trying to legalize. I had no idea. Then again, I remember there was an article that we had about there was this one group during the whole lockdown. They were able to get like 20,000 signatures.
They had nothing else to do, right?
Yeah.
Busy people.
Yeah, but right now Montana is kind of on the border. They're on the edge there. They're at 49% approve, 39% oppose. So that's going to be a close one. That should be interesting to see. They have actually a really cool little infographic here on Leafly showing kind of up to the minute polling about where it's at.
Leafly does such a great job. They have great graphics, and then they have the descriptions below, and they actually like give you a little bit more detail on each race if you're interested, which is awesome.
Pretty solid, yeah. So Montana's, it's close. South Dakota, they're looking for medical. They're polling at 74% approval.
That's awesome.
But they're also trying to do recreational. That one's actually polling at 51% approved.
So think about it. They're looking to try to get medical and recreational all in one shot. That's how it should go.
Big. Yeah, that's big. And then Mississippi, I think they're the only other one on there. They're just looking to get medical passed. And right now it's actually polling 50-50.
Yeah, that's a tough battle right there.
Yeah.
But New Jersey, I thought it was going to be in the first 100 days of the new governor 4 years ago.
Goddamn days.
And so 4 years, if we go back 4 years ago,
1,497 days later,
it's
finally going to happen.
So that's
probably. And not because of him either, because of the people voting for it.
Yeah, isn't that fucked up?
They're all scumbags.
But he said, I want to legalize within my first 100 days. And just saying.
Yeah.
It was a promise.
Well, perhaps the alleged tincture I took earlier today could be the last time I'm doing it in a gray area, so to speak. Allegedly, perhaps, maybe. I don't know.
For me, I really want, like, if I go to a dispensary, I want them to say, all right, meet us out back. I'll be like, okay, cool, pay for everything. And then they go out back, and there's a dude like in a, I don't care if I'm in Florida, to have like a, a winter cap on and a hoodie. He's just like, here you go, man. Just, I want him to give it to me in a shady way. Like, I want that experience.
I'm pretty sure you can go anywhere and find that guy.
No, but I want that guy to work for the dispensary and just do the distribution that way, or I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that guy works in triplicate in every dispensary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, now they have the drive up, so you just drive up contactless, and I'm like, all right, but I still got to pay you. So like, there's a little contact, and you literally drive up, and they hand it to you like McDonald's, and then like pay me and see you later.
Remember
later, dude.
Remember those weird, like, what was it, like photo development?
Yeah, the photomats.
Those little booths. Is that what they were called? Photomats?
That had to be terrifying. You're in a parking lot in a little tiny booth. I don't know. So much bad shit can happen
there. They probably all got knocked down, right?
Oh, I think they're all gone. So there was a place down here that I saw that had one of those like photomath style things, like just like a kiosk in the middle of a parking lot, and it was an ATM. I'm like, how many trucks ran over that ATM and like try to steal the money?
Oh my god! So okay, if you're a youngin and don't know what this is, there used to be a company called Photomat
by Kodak.
Photomat, and they back before our phones and digital cameras could take pictures, you used to have to take film photos and bring them to some creepy guy in this little Photomat thing to have them developed.
Yep.
It was a tiny little house in a parking lot.
Jerk off on him, sell them to his friends if there's anything hot. It was fucked up.
Back in the day, they wouldn't give them back to you.
They weren't dick pics that for personal. They were dick pics that went everywhere. Like
everywhere.
People are mailing them. Mail this dick to 5 friends or you're going to have bad luck.
Dude, so in 1980, there were over 4,000 of these things in the U.S., primarily in suburban areas. They had pyramid-shaped, gold-colored roofs with red lettering on the signs.
I want to interview somebody. If somebody's listening that used to work in one of those, please DM us. I want to talk to you about your experience, because that had to be some freaky shit. That had to be like shit that like people didn't think happened, and then just being in there, I want to know what the experience was like. Had to be like a tiny tube. I mean, I go crazy in this room. I got a whole condo to run around, and I get a little cooped up.
See, these things, there are a few still left, and there's one apparently that's now selling cigarettes. So that's kind of leading to what I was saying. They should use these for weed dispensaries. That'd be perfect.
Dispensary. There you go.
Right. Goddamn photomat. Yeah, they're all like in the middle of parking lots.
Oh, it was like, why do you put it in the middle of a parking lot with no protection? Like, I always thought, like, there's no protection for that place.
Oh my God. Yeah, right. And there's nowhere to go. That's the thing. There's nowhere to go.
You get a gang of people out there like, yo, man, come on, photomat guy. Are you going to get out of this goddamn thing? Nope. I'm staying in here, man. I'm trying to call the cops from in here. Dude, and think about back in the day, you didn't even have a cell phone.
Yeah. Need to go find a payphone.
Like, they cut the landline. I don't know what to do.
You're just bleeding out right now. These guys trying to find a phone. It's just a disaster.
Oh, it's horrible.
Dude, yeah, you got to, if you have never seen one of these, this is what life used to be like. You would just take random photos with this little rectangle, and you'd hope you actually captured, you hope you loaded the film properly, captured the photo you think you were going to capture, and that this creepy guy who's processing it didn't ruin them before giving them back to you.
So the best part is, like, you know, time doesn't change kids and how they act with cameras. Mm-hmm. So for our wedding, we had these little cameras on everybody's table. And I'm sure anybody listening that's gone through a wedding recently or gone to a wedding, it's a pretty common thing where you have these, you know, just throwaway cameras that you put on there. And people,
how many dick pics did you get?
We got no dick pics, which I was very surprised. And I was very happy. But
sorry.
My little stepson decides, hey, I'm going to take selfies with this goddamn camera. So we're developing, and we got him going like up there and like on the side, and like he's posing and doing all the stupid shit. There had to be like 10 pictures. And then, of course, there's the pictures of his sister from the bed angle and from this thing. Like, it's funny as hell. It's like, and they're on different cameras. So that was the best thing. Like, we started, and I was like, that's pretty funny. You got like 3 on 1. And then on another one, and we don't take into account, like, so now it's very easy to take pictures on your camera, on your phone. But you know, when you take them on these little film cameras, every stupid picture of the floor, of the ceiling, of yourself, you got to pay for that shit.
You're paying for that development. Yeah.
It ain't goddamn free. It's like something like 20 cents a print. Like, I don't know. You take, and then you get doubles. Like, now you're starting to like really piss me off. Like, it's kind of one of those things.
It's cheaper and easier to invent a time machine to go back in time and develop your film at the photomat. That's what you're saying.
It is. You got to go back in time to get those rates. But
there's a whole article on the Democrat and Chronicle.com, and they talk about like what happened to them, and they say a lot of them have been used for coffee to go, watch repair, locksmith services, and cigarette stores.
And cigarettes. And porn.
I don't know how much porn you could get away with.
I know.
Well, they said that these things were actually used for the movie rentals for the first time. These photomats were used for movie rentals, and perhaps those were the kind of films they had back there. I mean, because the thing was tiny. How many VHS tapes could you keep in there?
It seems like they would be good for popcorn. They chuck the popcorn in, light it on fire, and then it makes popcorn for everybody that walks by. I don't know. What do you do with that thing? It's like smaller than a bathroom.
Dude, could you even lay down in there like if you wanted to sleep?
Nope. That's why they made them that way. There's got to be some construction diagram that they're hiding right now saying, we don't want the person to sleep. Don't make it long enough for them to sleep. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. There you go. Look it up. Photomat. It's
being like in a little tube in the middle of a parking lot, man. Fucking terrifying.
Terrifying.
Mm. All right. Next up, we're going on to the ski news, right?
Hell yeah.
So in ski news, we have the trailer for Future Retro.
Well, we had the trailer already, but we are now part of the Warren Miller Street Team, as we have been for the last, I don't know how many years, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. Jesse.
That was our first rep that we worked with.
Yeah, now we have a different rep.
So what the crazy thing is this year, it used to be, you know, back in the normal times of last year, where you would actually go to the movie debut and you.
What? You mean you used to go to movies?
Used to go to movies, and it'd be this whole big fun.
Doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, it'd be this whole big fun event, and there'd be free giveaways, and you know, it was one of my favorite days of the year. I've said it before. I will say it again. We used to go to the one in Morristown, New Jersey. I absolutely love that location. I love that the seeing the Warren Miller movie, the people, you get fired up. this year, because of COVID and lockdowns and fucking 2020, it's all going to be virtual film tour. And they've announced that next week, November 7th, which I believe is a Saturday, is going to be the East Coast debut, which is pretty awesome. And if you're in Mountain Central, it's going to be the week after, November 14th, and then West Coast, November 21st. So we're going to be promoting this a few places to help out the Warren Miller folks. Not that they really need our help, but it is fun to be part of the film in some way, shape, or form. And our buddy, who we interviewed this past summer, Dan Egan, he is going to be in it. His brother John, who I skied with back in December, back in Sugarbush, he's going to be in it.
Man, Dan and John, you got to teach Brian how to do the backflip.
Dude, seriously. That's Mosley supposed to teach me how to do that.
Even if you end up in traction, I think it's worth it.
I think it is. As long as I record it. I mean, we can get how many we get some Jerry the Days, we can get some yucks.
Oh yeah. Think about how much sleep you would get afterwards.
I suffer.
You'd be able to lay down and just like sleep. Just knock out, right?
You know, stressed out and tired I am these days, it may be worth it just for that reason.
Oh, why'd you do the backflip? I gotta get some sleep, man.
To get away from these goddamn kids.
Says the new parent of a newborn.
Only 5 weeks old. He's already trying to backflip himself into a coma to get a little sleep.
Yeah, the doctor's like, oh, this guy's gonna have a long one. He'll be a freaking. You know what? We'll just give him the fast pass. We'll give him the secret number.
Could you imagine how I'm gonna deal with the teen years?
Well, you have a boy and a girl now, right?
Boy and a girl. Yeah.
The boy, you're gonna be like, do whatever you want, just don't get her pregnant. And the girl, you're gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy? What are you doing? I don't like him. I'm gonna clean my guns tonight. That's what you're gonna be like.
That's like the '80s dad. That's like the typical
yeah. That's like every dad. You're gonna be like that.
I don't know. I have no idea what it'd be like.
I think my wife wanted to be that with her daughter, but the girls don't get along.
Yeah, my whole plan is I really hope that my son is like the smooth, chatty guy, and that my daughter is more like me and a little more quiet and reserved and a little more I don't know, just like a little more introverted, and he's more extroverted. But
dude, you have the bob.
Make sure
she's punching that bob every day.
That's what I'm saying. I want to train her. What was that like? Wasn't there some Amazon show with some girl who was
it's called fucking Terminator is what it's called.
Yeah. No, she's like a Russian. Her father was some Russian.
La Femme Nikita or something like that, or Snow or Salt or whatever the fuck they call them. I don't know.
Heroin films, something like
exactly.
That. Like Black Widow. I'm gonna have her taking jujitsu, and she's 5. So she can
That's right.
Choke a motherfucker out if she has to.
That's right. I will choke you watching UFC. Hey, come on, sweetie. We're going to watch UFC.
It's I don't want you getting all tatted up and fighting.
Yeah, that's right.
But I want you to be prepared in case you encounter someone like that. And you can take.
I want you to be able to do that instead of being all tatted up and fighting.
There was a Joe Rogan episode where he was talking like a father of a kid who's doing martial arts, and the father's like, one day my kid will be raising his arm. And Joe's like, not if you're a good father, I won't be. Because it's most of the people who get into that usually have some sort of
that's their only option a lot of times. I mean,
only option, or bullied and abused and had to find a way to defend themselves. So yeah, that's the thing. It's I want to give you the tools, but I hope you don't have to use them. That kind of thing. So Warren Miller Street Team.
So we're back to Warren Miller. We're not choking anybody in the parking lot, but
yeah.
So what are they doing?
Private podcast, perhaps. Talk some shit.
So they're not doing the street. So the street team is promoting for the online viewing of it, right?
Online viewing, because the way it works this year is you pay, what is it, $30, $35, whatever. You get
20,000 friends.
Get as many people as you can. Go rent out an Applebee's if you can.
Dude, rent out a fucking movie theater. That's what they're doing now.
Drive-in theater.
Yeah.
Start your own drive-in theater. That's a good. Start your own drive-in theater in your parking lot.
Dude, put a screen up in your neighborhood and let all the neighbors enjoy it. Be the champ of the neighborhood.
That's right. Spread the love. with the package, there's 2 different packages they're doing now, which is kind of cool because they have the regular ticket, which is again like I think it's like $30 or whatever, but they also have the active pass. So you get a film ticket, but you also get all member digital content access. So like ski magazine, climbing, backpacker, velo news, triathlete.
Powder. Oh no, they're back. Sorry. Oh, too soon. Too soon.
Wow.
Is that too soon?
It is a bit soon.
We're the new powder. We're the new
1 year magazine subscription to Ski Magazine. The complete. This is where it gets awesome. The complete Warren Miller feature film library featuring the past 70 years of films.
That's pretty nice.
That kind of makes the whole $69 nice, worth it, I think.
$69.
It also has training plans and workouts, ad-free website experience. Blah blah blah.
Warren Miller's training plans. Warren Miller. That would be fucking awesome.
Hey man, guy lives 93.
Warren's getting yoked by hard work, bro.
Crushed it.
Hard work. Here's Warren Miller's training plan. Go work for like 15 hours a day. How about that?
Straight hustle. Yeah.
Yeah, hustle. Yeah. And then when you're done with the 15 hours, do another 5 and then go to bed.
That's right.
Bitch. That's what he writes on there.
So there you go. That's an idea if you're into that. I know I'm super into that. I'm probably gonna go for that one because just having the whole Warren Miller library available, because right now you get kind of like a couple of them on Amazon Prime. You may find some on YouTube. I like having all the stuff there. I think that's pretty sweet.
It is nice. You go out for a nice day, nice night, watch a good film.
Yeah. So we'll be posting a few more times, but warrenmiller.com, you can check it out and get all the info for the days that are local to you.
All right. Boom. And now we're into the first resort in the United States opens for the ski season. So we're going to Montana and we're going to Wild Mountain. Now,
Minnesota.
Oh, sorry. Montana. See, my MNs. I don't know what that is.
This is what happens when you have too many apres.
Yes. And when I don't remember the codes for the states. Anyway.
The ipso instead of facto.
Ipso instead of facto. So Wild Mountain in Minnesota. October 21st marked the opening day. And it's open for skiing and riding. Today is, they're saying back from October 21st. They're saying the terrain park will open, like bunch of lines for the features, and they're saying tickets will be $25.
It's a beautiful.
I don't know about you, but $25 is a pretty good deal.
That's pretty solid. Now, Wild Mountain is no Whistler. I'm not talking 5,000 feet of vertical here. I think they have 500-ish, definitely under 1,000 feet of vertical. And you see comments on there, because this is from unofficial. Some of these people, man, they're like, can we just stop? Can we just stop calling hills with only 500 feet of vertical mountains? Like, we just stop caring about them.
Yeah.
People like that, like those are the people I just want to like punch in the face, because those are the people who are just, I don't know, they must be just some like spoiled brats whose parents have a house at Deer Valley and they get to ski there their whole lives. You know, like without these mountains, there's no ski industry. You need these places to exist. You need kids to find a place to have their first ski trip from school or go with their family. They're not everyone can go to these fancy, big, expensive resorts all the time. Especially if you're doing it with kids. It's not possible. So
everybody's bagging on little hills is ridiculous, because I tell you what,
you're just an asshole.
But that's where people learn. Without these little hills, we wouldn't have the breadth of skiing. We'd have rich ass people hitting the mountains and everybody else wondering what it's all about. And they would love it that way, and they would be douchebags about it. But I think even a lot of the rich and famous people probably started on a smaller mountain, which still holds a place in their heart. And that's kind of one of the things I love, that it's a little ski mountain that opened up. Good. Who the fuck cares about the, competing, Vail or some other big resort that opened up? Whatever. This is what you can get to. As long as that's open up, That's all you care about, right?
That's right. 100%.
All right. So good for them.
All right. Another one. We're getting these first openings, which is a beautiful thing. Up in Canada, Alberta's Mount Norquay in Banff kicks off the 2021 season.
Oh, sweet.
They opened October 24th, the earliest the area has opened in its 95-year history. The unusual opening date also makes Mount Norquay the first ski area in North America to welcome skiers and snowboarders with lift service terrain for the season. I don't know how Wild Mountain feels about that because apparently they were the first ones. But the snow kept falling, temperatures stayed low overnight, and they've been cold enough to make snow.
Oh, that's sweet.
So they've opened with the Cascade Chair and Sundance Carpet. As the season progresses, the resort will open at Spirit, Mystic Express, and North American Chairs and Tube Park. Americans, too bad. You can't go ski there.
Yeah, you can't even get in.
Sorry.
The cover of admission is unattainable.
Sorry.
No, not sorry. They closed it. They said sorry when they closed it, and now that they closed, not sorry.
We have to flatten the curve.
That's right.
Still flattening
something. Hopefully they don't flatten the mountains. Just flattening the curve. But that looks like sweet stuff. I might sneak into Canada in somebody's fucking car just to go ski that shit. Just saying.
Coyotes. Fucking coyotes.
We have if they're getting put out of business in Mexico, come the fuck up to the United States. Because I tell you what, I'll sponsor you. We'll sneak people up across the
underground ski railroad.
Oh, ski railroad. I'm writing it down.
Underground ski railroad. We gotta start like 20 miles ahead of the border. Like, where's like Elon Musk and the Boring Company? Like, can't they like bore out a spot we can get into Canada?
Fuck Elon Musk. El Chapo, man. We do El Chapo. He will get us. We could burrow into anything. That guy is fucking genius. I think Elon Musk should hire El Chapo to get him into how do you make this shit happen.
Yeah, he would be a wonderful consultant for this project. Dude,
if he consulted with the Boring Company, light years away. They're like, we're boring through everything right now.
Yeah. That's a good point.
God damn. El Chapo.
El Chapo.
That fucking guy. Where's he at? Did he escape yet? Or is he just still sitting?
I think he's running for president.
He's like the third candidate. That motherfucker might win.
Right in. Kanye El Chapo 2020.
Kanye. That's I'm voting for the Kanye El Chapo ticket.
I mean, how could they lose?
He's the vice president. That'd be fucking great. Can you run from inside jail?
Like a Senate hearing, and it's like disappears like down the floor. Like, where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
Does.
That's El Chapo. Everybody just shakes their head.
Like, El Chapo.
Got us again, El Chapo.
He's like, Banyo. He's like, boom.
Boom. And it was like, wah, 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 El Chapo.
Zoom in.
Wah, wah. It's fucking hilarious. Anybody that's watching Spanish TV, you know what we're talking about. It's hilarious. Fucking hilarious. I'm going to let you take this because the next one is all you.
Goddamn. So we're still talking about openings. How about Wolf Creek?
First
to open in Colorado. Now, I don't think they were the first to open last year, but I think it was 2018 they were. They're always one of the first ones. And the next story kind of rolls right into this one. But yeah, they were the first one to open. Kind of it was one of those things like this big storm rolled through and they're like, we're opening Wednesday, October 28th. Shortly after receiving approval from the Silver Thread Health District for the preseason COVID-19 plan. They received 8 inches and then a storm of 24, with the Midway stake holding steady at 24 inches. Conditions are packed powder with very early season obstacles. Treasure, Bonanza, Elma, and Nova were operating on Thursday through Sunday. And they're gonna plan to stay open through the 1st and then see how things look at that point. Maybe reopening, closing, then reopening for the next weekend. But the big thing is they're saying lift tickets will be at the local appreciation rates. Pre-purchasing lift tickets is preferred and can be done visiting the e-store. and skiers and boarders should bring their own water, snack, and lunch, which seems like it may be a theme early on in the season, perhaps the whole season.
I love it. There's going to be no fucking glamping. You got to bring your own shit and like take care of yourself. I like it.
No moms working on their laptops at the cafeteria.
I almost don't want to talk about Wolf Creek because I want it to be left alone.
I know, right? And that sort of goes into the next story, which I'll just take also.
Yes,
it flows right into this. So Wolf Creek is in the San Juans and is pretty far south in Colorado. Will this be the first time in 28 years without front range skiing in October?
Damn.
So it's looking like, as of right now, this will be the first year since 1992 that one of the two front range ski areas, which typically open for early season skiing and riding, are unable to operate in October.
Boom.
With the month ending, well, this will be out by probably Sunday, the 1st of November. It's announced. Loveland said it won't open, and A Basin has been non-committal.
So non-committal.
They're saying it could happen, but probably unlikely. Snowmakers have had some amazing nights of snowmaking, but they're still a little ways out from opening day, according to Loveland's news release. It was a beautiful bluebird day today, and our trail maintenance team was busy in the snowcats pushing snow around the runs. Loveland will not be open this weekend, but we hope to open in the next week or two.
Wow.
Well, there, we're saying La Nina will be hitting this year, and most of Colorado was projected to have a less than stellar year. Again, still early.
But they're going to have cold,
we don't know.
Which is good, at least.
It will be cold. Hey, Wolf Creek got pounded, which is crazy, but I think their elevation is so high, and for some reason the San Juans just get dumped on. But
yeah,
it's very early. It's awesome that they're open. It sucks for the front range, but it's 2020, man. If you're not getting banged in the ass by one thing, you're banged in the ass by another thing.
Somebody on like January 1st was like, 2020 is going to be my year. I love this fucking place.
Yeah. 2019 sucked. I am ready for 2020.
Woo! Fuck you, 2019. Let's go 2020. And then, then again, is it really that bad? I get to work from home. It's fucking pretty dope, if you ask me.
That is also going to lead into our main topic.
Yes. So now Telluride is converting gondola cars into dining cabins for the winter. So this happened at a few resorts. Telluride is one of them. They said with ski resorts and towns brainstorming for creative ways to meet the guest restaurant needs with COVID-19, there's a lot of constraints on them. So they're looking for other creative ways. So they're actually taking refurbished gondolas, and they are making them into like nice little dining cars, spacing them out so they could be outdoor, but yet still be like for dining and stuff like that. It's very cool. They do the QR code for the menu, which everybody's doing now. I don't know why we didn't do that before. So here's the thing with COVID. Well, I hate COVID. Exactly. Well, I hate COVID. This is what it should have been a long time ago. Why do we print menus? Just have a little fucking QR code and everybody uses it. So, that first pizzeria that tried it probably went out of business, but this was your idea that they're taking to the bank now. So Telluride is going to be one of them. So
the biggest problem is the goddamn do you have to get a separate QR code reader app for your phone?
No, not on the Apple anymore.
Oh, you don't?
So you just take your camera,
regular camera, because that was always the biggest pain in the ass with QR codes in general, is that you needed to go and, when they first started coming on the scene like 10 years ago or so, you didn't know what to do with it because the camera would be like, all right, I'll take a picture of this. Like, why am I, right? You had to get a separate app, and they were all like
barcode reader. Yeah. So now, because Apple probably waited everybody out, and then bought up the thing like they always do. They drive everybody out of business, and then like, hey, we got this new cool feature that we stole from somebody that we just drove out of business. So they take this thing and you hold it over with your camera, and it pops up. It's one of these pop-up things, and you just click it, and then it brings up the menu. So it reads it and figures it out. So It's not standard. It's probably proprietary, but that's how it works.
So what's cool is these gondolas, they're saying they are done by this company called the Gondola Shop.
Nice.
And that what they do is they refurbish gondola cars that it bought from Steamboat and Killington.
Sweet.
And the gondolas they restore are mainly sold for private owners. And then some people turn them into offices with light and tables and heaters. We make saunas and party ones with fridges inside and lights and speakers.
Nice.
We did some for backyards for kids with a swing, ropes you can climb, and a little slide that comes out of the roof. Like, we can do anything.
Huh.
They said the sauna one will cost you $25,000. Dude,
nice.
A gondola sauna.
That's pretty sweet.
That's pretty awesome.
That is pretty sweet.
And then have a gondola hot tub next to it.
A gondola hot tub.
That would be so cool. So that company, it's a 22-year-old business, and they have 8 employees working full-time. And they are, according to the owner, crazy busy.
Nice.
They typically refurbish about 100 per year, with a full restoration requiring about 100 to 150 hours of labor. That is so cool.
So when I was in...
we build things in America. We got to send them to China.
So when I was in Switzerland, in St. with Harry, I have those pictures that we posted on the Instagram of us going to, I think the place was called La Gondola, and it's in the middle of town. Really cool. And it's an old tram that they converted into like a bar. And we went in, you hang out, and then outside they had little gondolas that they were probably like 4-person gondolas, like little tiny ones, a little table in it, so you could have little private like hangout out there with your friends or special occasion or something like that. It's very cool. And I gotta say, like, this could be huge, especially for some of the big ski areas to cater to people that want to have a nice little atmosphere and have the separation still. So it's kind of cool.
What about having a gondola grow room?
I'm sure that's $25,000 level.
If you can do the sauna, probably do a grow room, right?
Can you do a full environment, like tropical environment?
Dude, that would be the gondola. That would literally be it.
Gondolas.
Just making a grow room out of your gondola.
Gondolas are us.
That would be so awesome.
Dude, you want a gondola? Boom. There you go. Boom. Gondola.
Yeah, one that's a sauna, one that's a grow room. You get into the wrong one. That's unexpected results.
I don't know if it's gross smoke room. That's what it is. So think about it this way. If you had a grow room that went automatically and you're growing weed in it, wouldn't you want to have it smoke up and have the weed ingest the more weed?
I mean, obviously, yes.
And you could hang out there while you like tend to the weed during this cycle. That would be awesome.
Maybe it could be a sauna and grow room. Just do both.
Oh, dude, that's great.
The weed would get into the wood of the sauna, and then when you crank up the sauna.
Talk about relaxation.
Talk about gondola.
All right, I'm writing this down.
Write it down. One day, all these things we write down during this podcast are going to be like Exhibit B, Exhibit C.
Now, what'll happen is aliens will come down and they'll be like, Mary and Brian had the best ideas. And of course, like they'll land on us, so we'll be dead. But they'll take our notes and they'll be like, yes, we need these weed grow room saunas.
This sounds like the plot of like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, like 5 or 6.
Hey, you know how much money they made in 5 or 6? It's incredible. Incredible.
Goddamn Bill and Ted.
Goddamn. Gotta love Hollywood.
Pretty awesome.
All right, next up, what do we got?
Another cool story. Eric Pollard and friends just co-founded a ski and snowboard brand. Now, most skiers know Eric Pollard. He is a longtime skier, an artist. He's done some really cool stuff with line skis over the past 20 years.
Yeah.
And
Line's had some good art on their skis too.
Yeah, he's had 50-ish pro models of skis designed with Line in that time, which is crazy.
Wow.
But they said now the 37-year-old skier and father of two is putting his creative energy into something bigger than himself, a new company called Season Equipment. Founded alongside pro snowboarder and fellow Oregonian Austin Smith, Season Equipment is here to humbly shake things up across the snow sports industry by offering both skis and snowboards centered around values of simplicity and longevity. Both Pollard and Smith left big contracts behind with Line skis and Nitro snowboards, respectively, to start this new chapter. And as Pollard explains, personal brands will have nothing to do with any of it. Now, the one cool thing about this, if you check out what they look like, if you've seen any of Eric Pollard's designs, a lot of it is like Japanese style art, and they put pretty very a lot of work into their efforts, into the different models that they've done. These straight black skis, black boards.
It's all black, and they talk about that, saying that like they didn't want to get into that whole thing. They want the ski to be the tool that you use to represent the art on the mountain, right? Yeah. That's kind of how they explain it.
Yeah, and Pollard made the comment. He's like, he felt that his most creative skis, full of color and original illustrations, were getting lost among lift lines and ski racks. So he's like, kind of doing the opposite then. Let's just make it black.
Nice. Just plain black.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
And, one of the things he talked about too with that is with Line and them always having a new model and, a new something, new and improved. It was encouraging fast-paced consumerism. And he wants that to change. So that's what they're looking at, building these products so that, it's simple, it does what it's supposed to, and it lasts. You're not going to have to buy a new pair every year. And if it's black, it's black. You won't know last year's model from this year's model.
Yeah, that is it's interesting, right? So like once you start, when I started, I bought a shitty pair of boots and skis, kept them for like 10 years. Then I got to the point where I had a little more money. I was like, hey, I'm going to buy some real boots and real skis. Bought the real boots and real skis. 2 years later, or 3 years later, I was like,
fully customized everything.
Fully customized boots.
Arnold Schwarzenegger foil skis.
Right. And then I'm like, I think I need another pair of skis for this type of terrain. So you get to it does promote consumerism. Like you are just consuming, and what are you doing with your leftover stuff? Like my leftover stuff, we've either turned into chairs, repurposed, or given away to people to just use.
Yeah.
So it is something to think about. If you have a well-made skis or a snowboard, like why would you need something else, right? Until it wears out, until it breaks.
And that's kind of the reason why they do design the way they design. Like everything is every year, it's a little bit different, a little bit tweaked, a little bit modified, different color, right. Different splash of this. And it's like, oh, well, that guy, you're looking at your skis, like I got this year's model. That guy's got 2 years ago. Like I'm better than him. It's like,
oh, I know, because the tops are different color. So,
exactly, right?
I mean, happens all the time.
Yeah, but now this is a super cool move. And what's nice too is they're both leaving these big companies to do their own thing. And I think we're going to see that's so much more possible now with technology, with printing ability, with the production costs coming down.
Yeah.
That, if you are someone with a little bit of money, you can do this. You can set up your own company if you have a vision of doing something different, rather than just doing the same old thing everybody else does, getting sponsored by so-and-so brand or whatever. So this is really cool to see, and I hope we do see more of this, where people, kind of look at
basis.
What's important. Right? Bingo. What's important? Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I think and we got one more story. You got to finish this bad boy. This is a cool one.
All right. So this came up a few weeks ago. So Brian and our buddy Nick, we were chatting, and actually our buddy Nick sent this to us about this long lost idea that Disney had in a failed attempt to build a massive ski resort in the California wilderness. Now, a lot of people don't know about this.
This article just came out last week too. It's not like this. We just stumbled upon this. This is like a recent article in sfgate.com.
Right. But this is something that is in the annals of like Disney that probably just got buried with all the other shit that's going on with them. And they're saying uh, it was kind of centered on Country Bear Jamboree, which is weird. So if you don't know,
most of my life decisions are based on Country Band Jamboree. What the hell is Country Band Jamboree?
And that's fucked up. Like, so Country Bear Jamboree is like an animatronic thing, and I think it was one of their original Disney I think cartoons where they had like this country bears like did like a whole concert and jamboree thing, and then they had a setup in Florida at one of the resorts, or actually they started there and they brought it to one of the resorts. And I've seen it before, and it's kind of fucked up reading this because I'm like, holy shit, they're saying it began in 1960 when Walt Disney was appointed head of the pageantry committee of the Winter Olympics at Squaw Valley. So
I've always wanted to be named the head of the pageantry committee.
Like, what the fuck is that? I didn't know that existed. Like, so there's a lot of like secret shit here. So that was, he loved it. He loved the snow, loved the resorts. And it's good to know that Walt Disney, the creative genius that he wasn't like, I want to just keep all my shit in Florida. Because I don't think he ever had that vision. He just said, hey, I could buy a lot of cheap land in Florida. I'm going to buy it and build this vision that I had. And then he wanted to move on to other stuff. So they started researching in the 1960s land on actually looks like a pretty good piece of property 4 hours north of Los Angeles, and had never been seriously developed because it was inaccessible. There wasn't a real road. It was like a dirt road up there. And they actually thought that this could accommodate about 20,000 skiers of all ski levels and be a resort and training ground for the Olympians. So in 1965, Disney was awarded a 3-year permit by the U.S. Forest Service to explore the area. And then it went on like all these like things they wanted to build and all this other stuff. And they actually built the resort where he didn't want to intrude on like nature. So he wanted to make it like very natural and like everything hidden and, limited build on what they had to do. And they're saying they they built a lot of shit there, but it just still wasn't accessible. So they're saying that, with politics down the road, like they cut the permit that was they cut the funding for an actual like paved road that was going to lead to the resort. And that really is one of the things that kind of started killing it. But it was there, and a few people skied it, and they said it was pretty damn cool, but it never got off the ground. So they're saying total construction cost came in at like $400 million, which at the time,
back then, it was real money.
Yeah, that's real freaking money. And they're saying in 1972, it was scaled back, and its $30 million budget became $50 million. So meaning for your ski lifts, amenities. So it kind of just got defunded like over time, over a long period of time. And in the process, like Walt Disney passed away, so he couldn't oversee it. But they said it was kind of a pet project of his. So I don't know. It's pretty awesome. I think somebody should pick that up and run with it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you look at it on the map, I was just looking it up, and Mineral King, where they wanted to put it, what's so crazy about it, it's almost due west of Death Valley National Park.
Yeah. Isn't that weird that like
it's so weird.
It's just weird like the amount of like hot and cold that goes in that area.
Yeah, I mean that just because that, the mountain range there, I don't know, is it still the Sierras down there? But yeah, you have that.
I'm going to say it's the Sierras just because I want it to be.
I think so. But yeah, it's right in Sequoia National Forest.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's one of those things, like, I mean, I'd never heard about this. I know you hadn't. And like just the things that like that could have been such an amazing, just, I don't even know what you call it, resort, spectacle.
Yeah.
Whatever. And mean, to be only 4 hours north of LA.
And I'm amazed that like beautiful place exists like outside of LA. Like you think of LA and you think of, not a lot of trees and forest and shit like that. And it looks beautiful. And I just wonder, like, there's gotta be like some hidden shit there. Like it's gonna be, I want somebody to go in, or I want to go in like a camera and a crew, just like let's find out all the shit that's going on in this place.
Yeah. Maybe that's where Walt Disney's buried.
Oh, the real Walt might be buried.
Maybe, or frozen. Isn't he frozen there?
He's a real Slim Shady. He's gonna get buried there.
Isn't that the whole thing about like him being?
Yeah, they're saying cryogenic freeze. I don't think he's there. I don't know. The cryogenic freeze, I was on board for a while. Yeah. And then when I heard about Ted Williams' head, which was a hoax, that didn't sound good,
Yeah, not good at all. But just imagine what could have been. And perhaps with California needing dollars, needing money, maybe this can be resurrected.
A ton of money.
Maybe they can resurrect this project. You never know. Speaking of never knowing, we're going to roll into the main topic.
Oh, wait, I got to take a pause.
He's got to take a pause.
Yes, can we take a pause?
I don't think you can actually pause.
All right. I'll be right back.
You need to pause? All right, well, then I'm just going to be here. So again, this is what happens. If you want the YouTube version, this is what you get. You get the hijinks, you get the shenanigans, you get Mario taking a piss. Can't make this stuff up. But if you do want to check out more about us, skibumpodcast.com. I have the shop there. I'll have these sweet sweatshirts, t-shirts. The new stuff will finally be up just in time for the holiday season. Also, thank you again for listening, and check out all of our good stuff at skibumpodcast.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Untapped at skibumpodcast. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Why am I saying it again? I sound like a goddamn advertisement. Broken record. It's 11:58 right now. I don't know where Mario is, but he'll be back soon. We're going to wrap this bad boy up because our main topic is pretty light today, but it's fun. I think it's fun. It's fun for me because I get to think about skiing, which, considering a lot of the lockdowns and quarantining going on, I was getting a little concerned. Wasn't sure how the ski season was going to play out, but things have turned for the positive in the last week. So we shall see. We shall see. I'm just going to keep talking until he's back. Up. Oh, look at that. There he is. He's back. I just talked to myself for like a minute.
Did you?
It's all good.
Oh, that's all right.
So now we're going to roll into the main topic again. Main topic. So we talked about it a few weeks ago, the mighty algorithm, in terms of figuring out where's the perfect ski town to live for you. We put out a bunch of criteria, figured out how you can run your own algorithm and figure out what works for you. So we're kind of revisiting that in a way because I recently got a little bit of news that I will now have the option to work remotely until April.
Yeah.
And in case people didn't know, between now and April is pretty much ski season. Now, I have a lot of other things going on that make this a little more complicated, so I can't just pack up and bum it in Jackson right now. So one of the things we were looking at, though, was perhaps renting out a place for a month or 6 weeks or so up in Vermont or New Hampshire.
Nice.
Or Maine. I don't know. And that's why we're revisiting the old algorithm, because we're trying to find a place that's accessible to some great skiing, obviously, number one, in a La Nina year, which makes it a little trickier, but also has enough stuff around because I have a wife and now 2 kids. So she can get to groceries, or if there's a hospital around in case something happens, and other things to do. So that's kind of what's the tweaking of the algorithm. because it's a certain situation and it's only for a brief period of time. So Mario, I know we kind of talked about talking about this days ago and haven't got around to it. And one of the biggest parts of this is also thinking about our Indie Pass, because we are Indie Pass holders.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that, yes, we will have to work most days, but we want to be able to hit up those Indie Pass resorts that are in Vermont and New Hampshire, which is Gouget Peak, Bolton Valley, Magic Mountain, and then Cannon, and I think Pat's Peak is the other one in New Hampshire. As well as in Massachusetts, we have Berkshire East.
Yeah, so there's a lot of areas we want to go.
And that's the thing. You almost have to make the decision. Do you want to just lock yourself into one area where you got like one or two places? Or do you get something a little more centralized and then you can bounce to a bunch of different ones? So these are the things that we need to figure out in the next few weeks so that we can book something and perhaps have a different location for a few weeks while we are actually doing our ski bum thing.
So have you looked into areas yet?
My first initial thought was to look in sort of central Vermont in the Stowe, Waitsfield area. So that would put us kind of right in the middle of everything, because we'd be near Stowe, obviously, Bolton Valley, which is on the Indie Pass, then Mad River and Sugarbush just south. And then I don't know how far Cannon is from there.
Yeah, we got to throw Cannon in there.
Yeah. But again, you it's almost like, do you want to be close to something or far away from everything? That's sort of like the thought process. And now, if we were there, would there be another pass that would benefit us and make sense to get? Because whatever place we're going to be near is not going to be the main place. And also the Indie Pass, like say we want to just ski for 2 hours a day at lunchtime, or an hour at breakfast before work, and then 2 hours at lunch. You need to get a season pass for that. So that adds a little bit of complexity to the situation.
Yeah, I'm thinking we have some of our favorites up there. One trip for me might be, if I'm only there for like 2 or 3 days, maybe a long weekend, I could probably go up, hit Burlington, go to Jay Peak. That might be a weekend.
Yeah.
Another weekend, maybe I go out west, hit Jackson, do Storm King or
Snow King.
Sorry, Storm King. So, you know what I mean? Like, it might be hit or miss like that. Or for somebody like yourself, you're like, I want to center in one place and then drive. So you got to really look and study the map. There's a big concentration in New England right there.
Yeah, and that's sort of the tricky part is, you want to ski all those different places, but it doesn't really make sense. You don't want to
right there.
I think you say that, but then it's like, do you want to drive that much? It's almost like you got to be like, okay, I'm going to get a place by Stowe or get a place by Sugarbush, Mad River. Those are going to be my central places. I'll get a pass for them, and then I'll just bounce to the others.
Yeah, it might be. Well, we get 2 days in each place with the Indy, right? So, I don't know. It includes night skiing. So that's what I'm saying. You do day and night skiing and then go on to another place.
Right.
Might be a long night, but hey, you know what? Could be good.
Worth it. Could be worth it.
That's where you do Uber bus and just have them take you around.
That's just the tricky thing. It's like, do you get, because the discounted pass rates are going to be ending really soon as well. I think for the Epic, you have to get it before November 6th. So then again, we could reach out to some of these resorts and maybe they'll help us out.
I think
pay to play. We'll pay a little skiola.
Skiola.
A little skiola.
Well, I think we got to start thinking about where do we want to ski, right? So I still want to ski Europe this year if I can. That's on the radar, in the works.
That's a tough call this year.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I honestly don't think it's going to happen, but I'm, hedging bets and doing stuff. But if I can't go Europe, I definitely want to try to do Canada. I'm just not comfortable that they're going to even open up their fucking country. So, love to see.
Depends who wins the election.
Yeah, so it's like Europe, Canada, and then I'm banking on if I'm gonna just stay in the country, right, and just do US. I may just center on the Northeast. I mean, I don't know, Northeast and a few pops out west. Just thinking. I mean, if I could pop out west and do a few days here and there, that'd be great. Maybe Utah, maybe not on a pass. You know, Utah's pretty easy to get in and out of. That's why.
Super easy. Yeah. And you got, multiple places you can choose from pretty easily. And that was another thought I had, was maybe I'll go out west, but with all my life stuff happening right now, I cannot make that happen this season.
See, but going out west, depending where you go, if it's like Utah and it's very easy to get in and out, that might be actually easier than doing something on the.
But the problem is, I'm talking doing this for like a month.
Well, yeah, that's a month. I'm talking about, yeah.
Oh, if you just. Well, now here's the other problem: is all this quarantining stuff they're saying. They're like, oh, you got to quarantine for 14 days and get a test if you come into our state. That's one of the things.
Nobody checks that, dude. I'm in Florida, and they were trying to do that for a while. And you know what it does? You can't enforce it because you're like, oh, I have these plates, but I quarantined. How are they going to know you're lying?
I know. Yeah.
Unless you flew in. If you drove, there's no way to tell. So you could be like, yeah, I've been here for weeks. You haven't seen me. I stayed at a hotel, blah, blah, blah. They have no idea.
That was one of the things. I was on a Ski Vermont call this past week, and that was one of the things they kept talking about, how, the state of Vermont has very strict rules about people coming from out of state that are in hot zones. And I forget what the exact number of people per million that are testing and are deemed positive get like a red delineation. And pretty much all the Northeast except Vermont and Maine are like in the red area right now.
Yeah.
And I know what they want to do, and I respect what they want to do, and it's great. But I also know how much those resorts depend on out-of-state revenue coming in, and you got to think they're going to tell.
And there's no way to enforce it.
They're going to tell the cops, you got to turn a blind eye, man. Otherwise, you're fired. Otherwise, we can't afford to pay you.
But how do you do it? So if you have out-of-state plates, they walk up to you. What's the probable cause? So you're saying because I have out-of-state plates. Yeah, I have out-of-state plates. You're gonna harass me? I could have been I could be here for 3 months. I go back and forth between a house. Like they have no idea.
A lot of people own property up there too.
Yeah, so they can't. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of laws. Basically, what they're doing is they're saying you should, and that would be the smart thing to do. But there's no way to enforce it. Yeah. It's horrible. I see people down here from I see people that drive down here from Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Ohio, and it's just they're just down here for like a weekend or a week, and it's like, oh, you didn't quarantine, right? Like, no, we don't give a fuck. We're down here, we're partying, we're on a vacation. So they come down here and they fuck everything up and they leave, and that's what happens. But the same thing happens with skiing. People go up, they go out, they hang out, and then they leave. I mean, they're in and out. You have no idea if they have COVID, if they quarantine or not. Like, you don't know. So,
yeah, you just never know. It's kind of messed up, but
the beauty of renting a place though for that long, you can make sure it's clean, COVID free, and then move in.
That's true.
Which is nice.
Or you could squat.
Just squat on it.
Yeah.
Dude, that Route 100, they have a great 7-Eleven I could probably live at for a few weeks.
No one would even know.
That place they have an all-you-can-eat package too, like a full, it's nice.
It works. And it's a liquor store too.
Exactly. All you can eat and drink.
Right. So this is kind of the thing I am dealing with right now in a good way, that, again, I want to be respectful, but I also want to make sure I get enough time in. And I don't really plan on going anywhere where I'm going to get COVID. Famous last words, but I'm pretty homebody-ish the way it is these days anyway. And the only thing I do care about is making sure I can maximize my snow time. So this is something I have to think about very hard over the next few days and to come up with an idea. So if anyone has any insights or thoughts or suggestions, or perhaps even has something available to rent for maybe the last week in January through the first week in March.
There you go.
Hit us up, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. But I think, like I said, like part of me wants to just do Killington also because they know the area. There's a lot of stuff to do around there.
You know enough people in Killington to just squat so you can rent a place somewhere else in Vermont.
That's true.
I'm saying nice little quaint place in Burlington, hanging out, drinking some.
I don't think I want to be in Burlington per se.
Not too far from J Peak.
Waterbury. That's the name of the town, right?
Waterbury.
Like Prohibition pagan stuff. That's Waterbury, right?
Yeah, Waterbury.
Waterbury would be a solid spot because then you're only 15, 20 from Stowe, probably that's 20 from Sugarbush and Mad River.
Right.
And Bolton.
Put on the big boy pants and go somewhere uncharted. Maine, New Hampshire. That's what I'm saying.
That would be super cool.
You got to reach out to our folks in New Hampshire and be like,
part of me is like, oh yeah, what about like North Conway? Get something around there and hit up some of those New Hampshire places. So there's a possibility of that too, because once it's not a problem now going a little further north because we're going to be there for a few weeks. It's not a matter of like just going for 2-3 days and you're like, oh, I don't want to drive that extra hour or two. You can make it happen. So
you do camper.
I don't want to spend that kind of dough. Dude, I spent $12,000 on an air conditioner and $1,200 on a windshield that my freaking son broke with his head. So
nice.
Expenses have been just bent me over this summer. So I'm trying to do it in a non-ridiculously expensive way, but also.
Dude, I thought campers were not going to be as expensive. They are fucking astronomically expensive.
It's like with everything. They used to be like shitty, weird Winnebagos, and they weren't that expensive. But now it's like this has got granite countertops, and this has got this.
I don't care if it has a granite countertop. I just want a fucking thing that runs and gets me from point A to point B without getting sick. How about that?
I want a place to sleep and a place that's got to have brakes. Those are the two big things.
Brakes are important.
Brakes are very important in a car.
You start looking at cars, you're like, does this have brakes? Like, you got to ask.
It's brakes. Yeah.
Oh, you wanted the brake option package. Sorry. It's going to be another $5,000. You put brakes in this whole thing. Yeah. So you realize we got to run wires and we got to do like pressure things. Like, there's a lot of stuff we do.
It's very complicated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot of things to consider. Very short period of time to consider it and to make it happen. But I know I'm super excited about this kind of coming to fruition. And, I know, Mario, you mentioned going out west. I also hope to make that happen too. We're still coordinating. And this whole like COVID pain in the ass thing has made things so much more complicated.
COVID's fucking shit up, man. I tell you what, it's messing up plans. It's messing up ideas. So I think we just got to start, running through plans and see if they get shot down by COVID or something, and just kind of keep pursuing what you want to do. Yeah, that's my advice to anybody that's planning anything.
Dude, you can't stop living. Like, you cannot stop just be locked up for 10 years. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
You can't do that. We have to get back to living our lives some way. And we're going to do it by skiing, by keeping skiing, finding a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
We won't be stopped. We can't be stopped.
It's got to be smart. Got to head on a swivel and just keep your wits about you.
Head on a swivel, huh?
That's right. Head on a swivel. Next COVID's coming.
COVID 2?
COVID 2. COVID 2K.
Judgment Day?
Oh, that's right. I watched Purge.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. That was very appropriate, right? Everybody's locking in for...
Yes.
By the time they listen to this, they're going to be ready for the election. So if you're listening, you're ready for the election. There's a lot of talk about riots and shit like that. I hope everything gets squashed. I hope nobody gets hurt. nobody riots or loots, because it's not even like a riot. Everybody just, it's so sad. Like, you're not even ballers doing it. You're just a bunch of little bitches. If you want to have a protest like a real bunch of people. That's great. I love that. You guys are doing that. That's excellent. It's when you get into like breaking into shit, like you're just a bunch of bitches at that point.
You're just looters at that point.
Yeah, you just should be targets. Just everybody pop you down. Pop, 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 pop. That's what I'm saying.
Have any ski shops been looted? That's what I want to know.
I don't want to burn down either. Because the problem is they loot someplace and then they burn it up, and then they burn out the next like few places next to it. It's
Could you imagine if you were working at a photomat and you're developing film overnight and someone sets fire to your goddamn photomat?
Dude, there's no way. There's no way I'm doing election day photomat work right now.
Horrible. You call in sick.
If you're listening to this podcast and you're on schedule for photomat on election day, DM us. We got to find out what's going on.
If your photomat is a cigarette shop or a coffee place, just call out that day. You're better off.
Yeah. Bodega. No.
Say you got the COVID.
If you have a bodega kiosk in a parking lot, that's like, you got to get out of that shit.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We're just saying. So if you got, again, any ideas for me, any thoughts, hit us up, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. All right, you ready for Under the Ropes?
Boom.
All right, you got the first one, your Florida one.
All right, Florida.
All right, now it's time to go Under the Ropes. Mario, kick us off.
All right, there's a Florida man that was mauled by a leopard after paying for full contact experience with the big cat.
If you would have said man mauled by leopard and left the Florida part out, I'm pretty sure, and we played the guessing game, where was the story from?
Where was the story? Was the guy from Florida? That's what I always ask. Like, I don't know.
That's everybody's first thought after a story like this.
Yeah, well, a lot of times they say Florida, but they're from somewhere else visiting, or they're a snowbird. It's like, oh, you come from Ohio and you just want to, yeah, that's creepy. You know?
What's great is this is the New York Post website, this article. Yeah. There's a whole sidebar more on Florida.
Yes, they love like bashing Florida. I love it. I think it keeps a lot of people away, which is great.
10-foot python found under hood of Ford Mustang in Florida. Jesus fucking Christ. My
question is, why are you looking under the hood? Let's keep driving, man. Start to fucking drive. Why do you open up the hood?
Don't change your oil. Just go.
Let's fucking go. Go, baller. Go.
Oh my God. Fucking goddamn python into your car.
All right, so this story. A Florida man was mauled by a black leopard after paying the owner of a private animal sanctuary. What was Lion King? Leopard.
Tiger King.
Tiger King he's in jail and she's still out there. Carol Baskin. Maybe Carol let him in to play with the cats.
Dude, what is up with what's up with getting intimate with big cats this year?
So this dude paid the owner for a full contact experience. And it's in quotes. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know how creepy that gets. And I don't even get there.
Is he bent over, amyl nitrates? What's going on with this guy?
Dude, from that headline, I'm thinking this dude is naked.
He's got to be.
Right? Okay, in this scenario, with that headline, do you think the guy has clothes or no clothes?
Oh, dude, he's friggin' just Crisco'd up.
Buck naked, whatever he's doing. I don't even want to know.
My wife and her sisters, they follow that black Jaguar, white tiger, whatever that Instagram handle is. It's got 10 million subscribers. The guy, I don't know if he raises wild cats and stuff, but he's always hugging lions and hugging big cats.
Is he naked?
They're like, oh, he's not naked, but they're always like, oh, I would love to do that. I'm like, no desire, zero desire to just get any clothes at all to any sort of big cat. They will fucking kill you, man. They're gonna kill you.
They're gonna know I'm the master predator, and they're gonna want to take me out, man. It's gonna be a fight. So this guy, Dwight Turner, age 50, Had to
Come on, man.
several.
Do any Dwights make good decisions?
I was like, Dwight Schrute, fucking, we throwing beats at the thing. Undergoes several surgeries from August 31st attack and enclosure behind the home. Behind the home. Not even a zoo, nothing. Behind the fucking home. This is like
a van with a tiger in it.
It's right. Fucking, I got a van and a cage. I got a goddamn tiger. You want to go hug naked, Mr. Naked Dwight Turner?
So this guy brought the cat over there. What if this guy gets into a car accident with like a school bus full of children? And it's like a bunch of kids and like cat running wild.
Little Timmy ain't coming home. We got 8.
What the hell?
We got 8 by a goddamn big cat. We're like, it's by a big cat. I'm good with that. So here's the fucked up part, right? So you think this is exotic. This is going to be like a once in a lifetime YOLO moment. YOLO, motherfuckers taking pictures, whatever, like $2,000 or something like that. No, he paid $150. $150 to play with, quote, and they put the quotes there again, play with. I'm like, I don't know what it's doing to the black leopard, and I really think it probably wanted to just kill him anyway. So he wanted to play with and, quote, rub its belly behind Podsy's home. So the animal charged Turner once while he walked into the enclosure. So he didn't even wait. He's like, I'm going to fuck you up. And then one of Turner's ears was ripped apart and the scalp was hanging from his head following the attack, the report said. So, okay. So let me.
We're not supposed to laugh at this guy. I mean, come on.
Dude, so let me frame this out. You pay $150 to go behind somebody's house and, quote unquote, have a real experience with a leopard. And you're surprised you got ripped apart? I'm sorry.
Listen, I want to start way earlier in this whole story. How does this whole setup even become? Is this guy like trolling Craigslist for like someone who's like, hey man, I got a big cat who likes to be cuddled with for $150. You too could cuddle with this cat. Like, how does it get to the point of this guy having $150 and this guy having a cat and these two people coming together in the universe? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's weird. So he pays $150, goes to this guy's home to play with the cat, rub its belly, and it mauls him. So I don't know what's going there, but I think the scene's setting itself. Like,
is anyone really surprised this happened?
I'm not surprised at all.
Besides the dipshit that it happened to, I think no one else was surprised.
Yeah. What the hell?
I don't understand why people think that having, like, hugging a giant cat is a good idea.
So first off, the guy that has the cat is a little creepy, and he's selling out for $150. So the thing is probably abused anyway. He's pissed off. That dude walked in. So I love how they say, like, he walked in. It charged Turner once as he walked. Once he walked into the enclosure. All right, so this dude steps in, and then one of his ears is ripped apart, and his scalp was hanging from his head. That thing went on him, and you're not at a zoo. You're not a controlled environment. You're at somebody's house. So they pried the animal off of you, and your scalp and ear are hanging off. So what do? They put him in his car and like, all right, dude, see you later, man. See you. like, go home, man. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy shit.
So did he actually go to that person's? So who? I'm still not following this. Did the guy who got mauled go to this place, or did they bring the cat to him? Okay. So
Dwight Turner went to Michael Pogge's house in the town of Davie, and what happened is Turner paid $150 to play with the black leopard, and then and then they're saying they charged him and all this other stuff. So Pogge is licensed to have the leopard. He was charged with allowing full contact with an extremely dangerous animal. So he allegedly admitted his wrongdoing to police. So he's probably like, yo, man, I knew that thing was going to kill him, but I charged him $150. He wanted to go in there. Like, what the fuck?
It's weird. Getting paid.
Getting paid. Hey, people want to be stupid. I'm not going to stop them.
I'm pro letting people be stupid.
I'm pro the guy that charged $150 to get in this thing.
Absolutely. You know what? They're not giving away lion food or whatever it is, big cat food. Those things eat a lot.
You know what they eat? They eat people too.
People's ears.
That's right.
So those who don't know, Davie is actually just west of Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that? You are next gubernatorial candidate in Florida. You got to know where Davie is.
That's it. I mean, that's East Coast. That's a little ghetto on the East Coast, but I'm on the West Coast, a little more classy.
Mr. Fancy over here.
Mr. Fancy.
Next to Derek Jeter.
That's right.
Maybe he can get you a bottle of that bespoke liquor. We can taste that.
Good. I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna go to Publix next time and just be like, "Yo, Derek, man, we did this article. Did you hear the podcast?" He'd be like, "Yeah, I heard it, man."
You're like, "Yo, too. What's up?"
He should be like, "I didn't like the part what you said about my wife." I'm like, "That wasn't even on the podcast."
That was a compliment, my man.
Compliment. He's like, "Yeah, it was a compliment. I just didn't like it." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't like the fact that you can't hit anymore. So why don't you shut the hell up?" How about that? How about you help the Rays win a pennant?
I don't like the fact you don't have your cute little 25-year-old Derek Jeter hair anymore. You're all bald now. I liked your cute little Derek Jeter hair back in the day.
Oh, why do you look like one of the clumps there, Jeter?
With your fresh fade every damn game.
He's like Derek Clump. Fucking Derek Clump. You got fat boy.
Hey. Oof.
Woof. That took away from us. Anyway.
Speaking of plump.
If you go to the 7-Eleven and a dude has a leopard in a cage and is like $150, you could hug this leopard, don't do it, man.
Hey, man, you want to pet my leopard?
That's right. Don't get in the van. Don't get in the car. Don't get in the cage.
Don't say yes. Just say no.
Say no. Speaking of saying no.
Speaking of saying no and plump.
God.
Woman allegedly impersonated prosecutor dropped charges against herself.
God damn, that's genius.
I love the story. A New Hampshire woman is accused of pretending to be a prosecutor and submitting paperwork dropping stalking and drug charges against herself, according to an indictment handed down this month.
She stalked the judge.
The New Hampshire union leader reports Lisa Landon, 33, was arrested after she allegedly submitted false documents in 3 separate court cases last November and December under the guise of a prosecutor. Not just once, not twice, but 3 goddamn times.
What gets me is, where was the state hired prosecutor?
New Hampshire, baby. Live free or die.
I'm sorry. Wasn't there somebody representing like that? Did she show up before the person?
Everyone's wearing masks now. You don't know who the hell's who anymore.
That's true too.
She knew.
Were you in court? And she's like, "That's not me." Yes, that's me. That's not me. Like,
I put on like 100 pounds during lockdown. This is what happens.
Don't shoot me. Shoot her. She's the imposter.
Yeah. But again, if you got masks on, sometimes you don't know. You're like, "Oh yeah, it's the prosecutor lady right there."
I'll take it for granted. Yeah, that's good.
A little pencil skirt, looks professional. Boom.
Yeah, that girl couldn't fit into a pencil skirt. And I'm just going by the double chins she's sporting in that picture.
It's like one of those giant crayons that like toddlers use. It's more like that kind of skirt.
She's a fat crayon at best.
Wow. Officials first became suspicious when a state forensic examiner who was scheduled to evaluate Landon's competency for trial noticed that her charges had been dropped and questioned if they should move forward with the evaluation. Why don't you just keep your goddamn mouth shut, state forensic examiner? Just go home. Leave that. Or it's like the nerd who's like, we didn't have our pop quiz today like you said we would. It's like, shut the fuck up and just go home.
That's right.
Who do you think you
You're
are?
not a crime show. You're not a crime show. You didn't get paid like that.
The indictment also says Landon falsified a decision from a retired New Hampshire Supreme Court judge to waive filing fees in a lawsuit she brought against the Hillsborough County government. She's also accused of filing an order on behalf of a relative to halt guardianship proceedings involving Landon's child.
Jeez.
This lady is a goddamn train wreck. How is this not a Florida story?
She's smart enough to like get into like the courts and like represent herself good enough to be like, Yes, we're dropping the charges. Like
an evil genius.
Yeah. She's a white woman Lex Luthor.
A fat Lex Luthor.
A fat Lex Luthor.
Fat female Lex Luthor.
She's probably bald and has a wig, but I don't know. That's like Lex Luthor too.
Yeah. She now faces charges of false personation and 6 charges of falsifying physical evidence.
Damn.
I think it's worth it.
I think, you know what? She gets away with it. She gets away with it. She's creepy to look at, but I can't.
I could definitely see the stalking charges.
Oh yeah, she's a creepy little beast.
But that's so impressive, though, to have gotten that far in the game.
It is impressive. She could probably fake her way through Harvard.
It's like, what was the Leonardo DiCaprio movie? Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, it's like she wrote false checks. Yeah, I believe she wrote false checks, but that's her.
Good old days when you can write false checks.
Yeah,
simple time.
That's how she rolls.
Yeah.
Come on.
Damn.
Well,
we don't fake anything here. Not even the funk.
No, we don't. We don't fake funk
on the podcast. So thank you all for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Hopefully the internet, life, everything still exists after this stupid ass election is happening this week. Hit us up.
Yeah, after Tuesday, bro.
Hit us up on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Untapped, at Ski Bum Podcast. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe, rate us, your favorite podcasting apps. We'd really appreciate it. YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Talk to you guys next week.
Stay high, stay fluting.
See ya.